We're back at Epcot at Walt Disney World.
If you leave today and enter the world of Random Land.
Epcot, full of amazing attractions, incredible cultures, and some things that are just a little bit weird. Today, Epcot is an amazing theme park with futuristic attractions and pavilions representing countries from around the world. But it was originally intended to be something completely different. Walt Disney's original vision for Epcot was to be an experimental prototype community of tomorrow, a real utopian city in the center of Florida. No crime, no traffic, just a perfect futuristic city on a hill. Now sadly, Walt Disney passed away before his original vision could be realized, and all the other people in the company, who were amazing creative professionals, decided that maybe building a city of tomorrow wasn't exactly their strong suit. Without Walt, how in the world were they gonna pull that off? So they decided to build a theme park centered around some of Walt Disney's futuristic utopian ideals. As a result, Epcot is really two theme parks in one. One half is Future World, centered around the giant spaceship Earth. Really a whole educational section of the park. It teaches people about the land, the seas, responsibility, energy, motion, the past, the present, and the future. The other half of Epcot is the World Showcase, featuring pavilions representing different countries from around the world. A chance for people to sample various cultures and art and artifacts and such like things, and also do a little shopping for Mom. Well anyway, if there's one thing that I learned from Star Wars, it's that always in motion is the future, and as a result, Epcot has undergone a lot of crazy changes, and as a result of that, there are a lot of unusual, strange, odd, some pretty downright weird things here. So here's just a few of my favorite weird things in Epcot. Let's go. Alright, now here's a pretty weird thing about Epcot that a good friend of mine, Mr. Archer, pointed out. This, my friends, is the Seas, a whole pavilion about underwater exploration, and it houses one of the largest saltwater aquariums on the earth. There's manatees and dolphins in there. You get the point. It's ocean themed, and the attraction here, the ride, is a Finding Nemo dark ride that goes through this aquarium. It's almost the same as our Finding Nemo attraction at Disneyland in the submarines, only this one, instead of being in a claustrophobic, kind of hot submarine, you're in a nice air-conditioned clamshell, and I don't know, this one might have the advantage, I'm not sure. And next door to the Seas over there, we have the Land, a whole pavilion based on, you guessed it, terra firma, the Earth. And over here in the Land, the main attraction is this, Living with the Land, a boat ride. Wait a minute, boat ride? So the Land ride is a boat ride where you're actually in water. But if you ride the attraction in the Seas, you're sitting in one of these clammobiles, and even though you're going through an aquarium, you're on dry land the whole time. Weird. Why must you confuse me? And if that weren't enough, the whole Seas has a dry ride and the Land has a wet ride. On top of that, the Land also has Soarin', which is a ride about flying around in the sky, which is also not the Land. This is so confusing and so weird. I gotta stop investing my time thinking about stuff like this. Maybe I should invest in Land. Alright, Mission Space here at Epcot. A crazy flight simulator that really makes you feel like you're going to outer space. It's sensational, it's educational, it's inspiring a whole new generation of children to look beyond their horizons and take space in their hands in the future and all that good stuff. All kinds of amazing and inspirational and explorational quotes grace the walls. Crazy music is playing to inspire young minds. Over here, a massive model of the moon showing all of our human landing sites on it from both the United States and of course the USSR and etc, etc. And over here, an actual replica of a piece of Mars scanned by Spirit and Opportunity and beamed back to Earth. NASA gave this to Disney. It's the closest you can get to the red planet on our blue planet. Smells Martian. But among all these magnificent, mammoth monuments to space and imagination, are all kinds of planetary representations on the floor. I think they represent planets and orbits, and maybe that's like a planet and then it's moon, but wait a minute. That's no moon. It's a space station. It isn't. It couldn't be. The Death Star? This was built a long time before Disney owned Star Wars. Could this be a legitimate Death Star stool? Look, here's the ultimate death weapon. And here is the Death Star trench. A piece of popcorn, a piece of popcorn. A Death Star stool. Why didn't I think of that? Wow, the Death Star is so comfortable. Look at me, Mom. I'm sitting on a weapon of mass destruction. Alderaan does not find that joke funny. Listen, I don't know if that was done on purpose or not, but a Death Star stool? That's weird. You guys, seriously, I don't think one video can contain all of the weird things at Epcot. In between the weird things I want to show you, I keep finding even more weird things. Like, look at this. This is a food stand that primarily serves specialty grilled cheese sandwiches. What the heck? I don't know who you are or where you come from, but a specialty grilled cheese sandwich stand is weird. At the Imagination Pavilion, there used to be a whole other section upstairs, a whole different part of the ImageWorks attraction with a playground and a rainbow tunnel and all kinds of things. But what they found out was not that many people like to go upstairs. So today it's empty, unused space. Now, if you're used to Walt Disney World in Florida, I feel like it's a lot more normal for you. But if you're used to Disneyland and you think there's an area almost the size of Critter Country upstairs that they just don't even need to use, trust me, you'll be with me and just think, weird. Also over here at the Imagination Pavilion, between the entrance and the exit for Captain EO, is this weird unused area of the building that used to host a meet and greet for the Dreamfinder. Now, if you have no idea who the Dreamfinder is, you're not alone. Basically, he was a mascot for the Imagination Pavilion. When Kodak pulled their sponsorship, Disney felt it best to ixnay on the old Eamfinder dray. They got rid of him. And at Disneyland, where I'm from, and where space is really at a premium, they would put some kind of princess meet and greet in here so fast, it would make your head spin. But at Epcot, once the Dreamfinder left, we have so much space, they don't even really need to use this spot at all. So it just sits here empty, which to me is like weird. Also, they had a whole other character that was really popular, and he's gone now. Weird. Oh, and if one giant unused semi-abandoned space wasn't weird enough for you, there's actually more, a lot more, including this. And right now during Epcot's Food and Wine Festival, this whole area is open so you can drink craft beers, have a good time, maybe take a nap and go full Disney. But before having all of the windows blacked out and lying dormant most of the year, this used to be the Epcot Odyssey restaurant. Look at the size of this place. Can't imagine any place this big being unused at Disneyland. Kind of lucky we came when we did, so we actually get to see the inside of it. Look at these ancient relics. Look at ancient artifacts. Relics of the past. House phone. Remember when there was such a thing as a house phone? Now, I can't have wheat, so I'm not the hugest fan of beer, but I do like ancient relics and former things and Disney history. So that was pretty awesome, if not a little weird. Now, I feel like for those of us growing up in America, China itself is already pretty weird, but inside of this, the massive replica of a piece of the Temple of Heaven is something that I find a little bit weird. More specifically, this is a replica of the Hall for Prayer for Good Harvests, which is basically exactly what it sounds like, a piece of the Temple of Heaven in Beijing where the Chinese emperor would go to pray for good harvests. Pretty elaborate for a prayer room, huh? I don't think it's that weird. I mean, if you want to get the emperor down to do some serious praying, you're probably going to have to convince him by doing it with some style. But what I do think is weird, what I always think is weird when it happens, is what happens when you go to the exact center of the temple, stand right there, and talk. Now, if you've guessed what's about to happen, you're familiar with my other videos about weird things. Stand on the exact center of this circle and your voice will get all echoey. Echo, echo, Echo Base, we found them. It's called Perfect Acoustics, and I have no idea how it works. I want to know how it works so bad, but it's like magnets. Nobody knows, it's just magic. And every time I find one of these echo spots, somebody tries to explain to me how it works and tell me that it's not all that weird. Well, I don't care who you are. When you stand in a certain spot and your voice does that, it's weird. Welcome to Germany at Epcot. It's home of so many cool little restaurants and shops. If you tried to see every unusual thing in this pavilion, you would drive yourself cuckoo. They have a lot of fancy ornaments in here, and some of them are pretty weird. But the weirdest thing of all inside of the German Christmas store is something that's more German than this. It's this! A whole Christmas tree covered in pickles. Weird. Look at how many options you have. Realistic pickles, shiny pickles, glittery pickles, and bedazzled pickles. This is automatically weird. What the schnitzel is a Christmas tree doing covered in pickles? Well, it turns out in Germany, the pickle is supposed to bring good luck. They'd hide one on the Christmas tree, and the kid who found it got an extra present from Santa Claus. Oh, it all makes sense now. It's a good luck pickle. Yep, it has an explanation. But still, everything about that story, weird. Whole thing's totally ridiculous. I'm gonna get one of these though, just for science. What, were the weird things not weird enough for you? You know about something weirder? Well, make sure to let me know. Leave a comment down below or hit me up on Twitter or Instagram or all the other things that are in the description. Because guess what, guys? This isn't it. I'll be back. That was the worst Schwarzenegger ever, but I will be back.
Subscribe. This guy is really, really good. I don't know. He drives me cuckoo.
Look at this. This is what men looked like in the 80s. Just like this. Look at the size of this Roby. Weird like a fox. Oh wait, that's not how that works. Have a briny Christmas.
Oh, dang it, we're getting bonuses.